Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video. Today I'm doing another behind the scenes so far video. Yeah, ow, my neck. Yeah, I don't know, I mean, part 3 this one is. So it's behind the scenes to part 3 and whatnot. A lot kind of happens in this part. I think that's why it went on for quite a bit longer than some of the other ones and whatnot. I hope you enjoyed as much as it is wrong to like torture scenes. The bit with the 11th Doctor getting tortured. Yeah, to clarify, the 8th Doctor, I meant to say 11th, who's over there at the minute. I forgot to put him still back in the base. He's supposed to still be back in the base, dead, on the floor. He's dead. His body is dead. He's not coming back alive, so, yeah. So, even though, one of my, main viewery people, friends thought he was, whoa, that was weird, thought he was, regenerating, even though I definitely am sure that I told him that he wasn't, and whatnot, even though he thinks that's kind of weird, but, you know, because in my head, the War Doctor, or, you know, he's not the War Doctor in this, he's literally the darkness of the Doctor. He's a physical manifestation of everything that is dark about all the Doctors, put into a body, basically. That's what he is. So he's not a War Doctor in my figure adventures, in my version, you know. Don't get me wrong, John Hurt was amazing as the War Doctor, but obviously it'd just be boring if I just did the exact same thing, you know. I'm the War Doctor, and then he just goes, kills loads of Daleks and whatnot. Obviously we get more of Davros going mental, and as the 11th Doctor quite aptly said, you know, enough of the psychotic rant over with, and that, you know, poking fun at the fact that, you know, Davros is renowned for his mental breakdowns and his mental rants, which I thoroughly love, and I actually really like that about Davros. I mean, he's very passionate about hating people, and I can relate, to be honest, and whatnot. So, but yeah, so yeah, I've liked that about him, and I hope that I portray that very well, and I hope I do a good Davros and Daleks for that matter. I tried with the sort of stratagem Dalek, and in this part the sort of skill Daleks, the paradigm Daleks even. Sorry, I tried to add a more distinct voice, you know, more like, "You will be destroyed, Dalek." You know, more of a deeper, sort of throatier voice. Because if you actually think about it, in Victory of the Daleks, as bad as that episode is, that one, they are deeper voiced, you know, and I think that is more menacing than the more high-pitched, "You will be exterminated" kind of thing, and whatnot. Obviously, as we know from the outside of the base, which I tried getting more of, because I'd watched the first two and just thought, wow, you don't really see that much of the outside of the base. So, I just did more of that bit, which is basically that on its turned upside down, on the other side, basically, obviously. Basically, there's not much defense, really, of yet in this bit, and that, so there might be later down the line, and whatnot. Yeah, these two Daleks, this Dalek, I've always thought I really wanted him to, like, really do a lot of the torturing, even though that one ended up doing a lot of the torturing, but in my head, I've always thought that one should do a lot of the torturing. You might be thinking, oh, why? And that's not very nice and whatnot. But I always just thought, because that one always, in the first two parts, is like, exterminate, exterminate. And then the mental, you know, experiment Dalek pops in and totally annihilates one of the other Daleks in the base and destroys it. He tries killing him in the end of part 2 kind of bit. Davros interrupts him and that and stuff. So let's be honest, he will totally be enjoying, if he had emotions, enjoying, making the 11th Doctor be in pain and die, pretty much, or his body die, and that. So yeah, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, in hierarchy, he is second in command in Davros's rankings. So he's like Davros's right-hand man, and I always just like that, and I always just think I don't know, he just looks more commanding and taller and more... There's just something I've always thought that they look more like a second-hand man, kind of second in command and whatnot. I don't know if I did what with the War Doctor figure very well, what I showed of him. I didn't want to dwell on the fact too much on the fact that he is there. And obviously, as we know, the Davros clarifies that his end result is that he wants to use the War Doctor, obviously, against the other Daleks and whatnot to totally annihilate them. So yeah, even though the 11th Doctor is trying to be reasonable and is extremely compassionate and human towards him and hopes that he can see the light and kind of accept that sometimes you just need to move on from people's differences, but obviously Davros being Davros is like, the hell with that, they are putrid scum which should be totally obliterated and cleansed to some extent. So yeah, I obviously introduced the Stratagem Dalek. Just as I said, I wanted to add more variation in the Skittle ones. I only have the only other one that I have is I have the Scientist and the Eternal. I have two. No, I have one, I think, Supreme, but his eye stalk fell off, which is so annoying. I was going to use that as their leader, but I've got a different Dalek in place for leader. There should be some more Dalek variations, so don't worry if you're getting sick of that one or those two bronze ones, some of the bronze type Daleks, or the kind of more Resurrection Peter Davison Daleks, and the William Hartnell and Patrick Troughton ones. If you're getting sick of those types of Daleks, then hopefully there should be some more Dalek variation in later episodes and whatnot. So yeah, there's I've got an idea for a cliffhanger in the end of part 4, so that's always good. I think, as I say in another behind the scenes a while back, I was on about as beginning, middle and end, and I think with these I'm getting really good with what should be in the middle, beginning and end. At least I think, but it is brutal, the kind of torture scene and whatnot, and that. And what else? The TARDIS is there and whatnot. His body will actually be in the base and whatnot. So, in the base, just chilling, like a villain, and whatnot, dead on the floor, as the War Doctor, or the Dark Doctor, as I like to refer to him as, the Anti-Doctor, even, I don't know, I mean, because in this, he's not the War Doctor, he's just the Doctor who's dark and whatnot, who's born in fire and anguish and rage, really, so, and whatnot. So, yeah, I guess that is pretty much what the War Doctor was like, but, this is a Doctor that was literally extracted from a peace-loving man, peace-loving alien, like, being, and, has been forced out of, someone else's body and whatnot, and when, at least he's free, I guess, but, to what extent, really, and whatnot. And I'm hoping we will be delving into more of that sort of stuff like that, later down the line. I've got a really stellar ending to part 6, which I'm hoping doesn't crap out, meaning, basically flop out, or I hope I get it well. I mean, that's one thing that I've always hated about, which I've always loved and hated about doing these, is, envisioning something in my head and thinking, oh my god, that is such a good idea. I wish they actually, did that in a Doctor Who episode or whatnot. Sometimes, but then when I do it, it's like, I don't know, I just, it's not the right angle, or, I don't know, the lighting was off, or I said the line slightly off, or I said it once and I thought I should repeat it or something, I don't know, or it just didn't sit right, There's so many things that can kind of go that bit wrong, But I don't know, I mean, with this, I have thoroughly enjoyed doing these ones, and yeah, as you can tell, the other one went on a bit, this third part, so yeah, what else, yeah, and I hope the other parts go well. I probably am least confident about part 5. Part 4 I've got some ideas for, and part 6 I've got the the end scene. Literally, there's a really good quote. Hopefully, that'll be done to perfection. Hopefully, in the end bit. So there's a really good end scene, an end plot twist that I hope you don't see coming, and whatnot. And yeah, it should hopefully be killer. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe.